All right, folks, welcome to League number 2 of the day with Titan Violess, I guess. Made a couple of changes after the first league. This is the list that Dom Harvey did well with in a Prelium yesterday. And I cut the Woodland Bellower for another copy of Gracer. And I was missing Vesuva a lot, so we cut the Sagiris Step and we cut the Arid Mesa from Dom's list, and I added a second copy of Field and the Vesuva. I also cut the Beast Within and added Tectonic Edge, and because we cut the Gracer from the sideboard and we put it in the main deck, that allowed us to play another Cyber card, and I decided to play a Scavenging Ooze. So let's see what's up. Playing against Strelon. So probably facing Mono Blue Tron, I would say. Final Nub hosting the stream for one viewer. Hell yeah. Hey Scott, happy Friday to you as well. Man, these hands are not very good, huh? Out of 5 we go. Oof. Splinter Twin assembled. Bottom that and bottom this. Done. Oh, just supporting your favorite stream. Oh, thank you so much, John. Just playing with this deck is so sweet. Yep. Have you played Titan Vial before? Lurch? The man, the legend, the last modern streamer. Oh yeah, that's me. Oh, what? Excuse me? He says nothing to see here. ... That's really funny. We can still play through this and we can play more Reclaimers if we want to. Oh, wow. Okay. I think that we're just gonna go the sack this route and just get another Flagstones here. Just get this going. Dryad would be great. Prime time. Okay, so this means that now we have a 3-4. What is my second favorite archetype besides Titan Land Spile? That's a good question. So if it had to be a non-primeval Titan deck, it would probably be either Maverick or Esper Vial in Legacy, depending on if I want to have fun or if I want to win. If I want to win, of course, it would be Esper Vial. If I want to have fun, it would be Maverick. Let's get a Temple Garden, and here we can get... So if we get Field... If we get Field here, then we play our land. We play our castle, we activate castle. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? So I'm just gonna get a Field here, whatever. And then we're gonna get second Field with this prime time. So we're gonna do Field of the Dead, and I guess I'm gonna get Flagstones here, because if the Titan dies, we still get the Reclaimer engine going anyway. Mono Red Tron, yeah, hell yeah. What the hell is red for? I imagine it's for some of the Banefire style cards or something. I guess because of Banefire and shit, I'm just gonna block both of this. They could naturally find Tron into... Oh, that doesn't matter. Blasphemous Act. I guess that's something. Alright. So they sweep the board here. We still get a couple of Zombos. That does kind of suck though. Because now the Worm Call actually matters. I guess I shouldn't have blocked. Should have taken the damage. I was playing around Banefire and stuff. How did the game go as humans? We won. Okay, so here's the Worm Coil, which is actually good on this board, which is not something that we say very often. The good thing is that we're like one draw step away from it not doing anything. Like Illidan's Skull is probably lethal. Illidan's Skull probably does it. Knight of Autumn would actually be fine, actually. Yeah, Knight of Autumn would be nice. We kill the Chalice and then we pass this and then we just swing for a million. So Knight of Autumn would be cool. Knight of the Reliquary, not so good, but okay, because it would allow us to get another field. I was definitely not playing around Blasphemous Act, I'll tell you that much. Is Flagstones my favorite fetch land? At this point, I would have to say yes. Huh, no attacks with the Worm. That gives us even more outs. So that's nice. Let's see what we draw. It's pretty solid. See, I'm gonna Cavern an Elf. Cavern of an Elf and Vesuva on field. The 1-mana Blasphemous Act. No, what? I just realized the chosen type is Troll. Trellon with the tight place. We definitely have to trade with the worm, because if they have another act... Maybe I shouldn't have blocked there, but I think we should block at that point. They... God damn it. I mean, this is a forced play though, right? Like, they have to play the Blasphemous Act, and then we're gonna swing for... How much is this? Probably a sizable amount of damage. I guess they might have another worm, which would be pretty annoying. Uh-huh. Now what? ¿Qué haces, Pedro? ¿Todo bien? There's gonna be 6 Zombos. Just not bad. Okay, no worm is good for us for sure. How many languages do I actually speak? My first language is English. Is Spanish, sorry. And I speak English and I speak a little bit of Portuguese, though not that much. But I do speak a little bit. I can probably have a very slow conversation in Portuguese. I'm not gonna play land because I can play around another Blasphemous Act here. It's actually funny how if my opponent had been playing mono blue Tron instead of this red Tron, we kind of wouldn't really have a shot. Like, we would actually, they would actually probably have. They are playing Blood Sun. Okay. Well, if they have Blasphemous Act here, we are super fucked. Number 3? In the top 19 cards? Estoy jugando sin viales? Sí, sí, sí. Português do Brasil ou de Portugal? De português do Brasil. Falo português do Brasil. Pouquinho. So they are playing Blood Sun. That is hilarious. Well, Titanic Edge sounds good, but Jugabog doesn't. So let's do that switch. Beast Within's nice. Galactic is also quite nice. How do you feel about Z Purges? Yeah, maybe actually I should keep the paths, or some number of paths, because they have the... There's like a goblin that whenever it takes damage, it deals that much damage. Or something. Do you learn Portuguese just from speaking Spanish already, since you have so much in common? No, I learned because I played in a Brazilian band for a year while I was in college. So I kind of picked it up from there. But yeah, I didn't take classes or anything, I just by talking. ¿Cómo esta versión te da mejores sensaciones que la original? No necesariamente por ahora, Pedro, solo normal. Burrington? Yeah, okay. I mean, Galactic is basically doing this a Burrington impression, right? I don't know how much of that effect I actually want. We might want another one for game 3. We'll see. though. Game 3, I like the confidence. I mean, I'm not... I guess I should have said if we go to game 3 or something. Alright, so they're gonna have Tron on 3, which probably makes things worse for us. Or not. Or it makes things just the same. Scattered Groves, easy. Okay, so we might be... This is the one that they search for, so we might be Beast Within in this next turn. Probably Courser into Beast Within. I think I'm gonna take 3 here. It's fine. Cycle Land seems questionable. It's either that or a Canopy Vista. I don't know which one is gonna be better. It could also just be a Temple Garden. It could also in Titan Vial I play Temple Garden, but in Titan Vial I have less turn 1 untapped green source, so I need to be playing the Temple Garden. It's nice. Okay, so we're gonna do Courser. If we find a land on top that's untapped, we play it. Otherwise, we just do this. And I think we're gonna upkeep, blow up the land, particularly with my opponent missing their land drop. Definitely going after the one that they fetched for. I think Canopy Vista would be better because how often we get to basic early. I don't agree 100% on that. We don't really often get to basics that early, honestly. So I don't think Canopy Vista is necessarily better. It could be better. Definitely could be better. But I don't think that it is better. Can draw that call. Sick. Sometimes when you're good, you're just really good, you know? Next turn we can start blowing up stuff. I want to definitely control the amount of lands that I put into play, right? The amount of creatures that I put into play, sorry, not lands. So if they attack again, I'm just gonna chomp with this Springbloom Druid. Just honestly, just so it dies. I want this card dead. What was really good for me in a 1-match sample, the problem with Dryad does not really come up. Yeah, I mean, because they're kind of mutually exclusive in a way, right? Oh wow, really? Well, so I guess that we're going to Ramming Up, get Canopy. And this is going to lose the ability, but that's fine. I kind of just want to have the option to either draw or cast call. We're still fine here. We're still in okay shape. No, this is Blood Sun. They don't need to name cards. This just applies to everything, basically. But we can call for Night of Autumn. So that's what we're gonna use to answer all of this. So we're still fine. I think we're still in really good shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cycle because I want to draw this Titan. We're gonna cycle an end step. And then we're gonna main phase, I guess, call for Night of Autumn, blow up the Blood Sun. Take it from there. Oh, we can't cycle with Sun. Good point. We can't cycle with Sun. It's very true. I guess we do want to draw the prime time anyway, though. But we're not going to cast it this turn. So, call for Night of Autumn. Green, white, 1, flagstones. Destroy target artifact. And I kind of don't want to play this card because it's going to make bodies and my opponent's going to be able to cast their stuff. So I think I legit don't want to do that. No. Do that. Always yes. Always yield. Should I kill my own Night of Autumn here? And playing the Flagstones is basically the same as drawing this off the top, so except it gives me one more trigger, so I guess I'm gonna do that. I'll look at you, draw a card, use Flagstone's ability, get a plains. I'll look at you. So this is 5. Yeah, I should have killed my Night of Autumn. That was a punt. I should have killed my Night of Autumn because now if they have a land, they can actually clear my board. Yeah, actually, it's so weird. Like the play was to kill my own Night of Autumn. Punted. Should have killed my own knight. Crack Canopy and Grazer Heat for lethal. Yeah, yeah, I guess that I did miss lethal. That was funny. Oh, it intercept. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the line was to just kill my own dude. The line was definitely to kill my own dude then. Funny. Definitely not used to playing around Blasphemous Act. Would have been lethal if I didn't kill Karn. Also fair. Also fair. Splinter Twin. Let's go. I still struggle to think that my opponent would have been able to win that game. Particularly with a... Oh, cool. Particularly with a... with a Titan in my hand. Escusi? I was so ready to back it in. That's a fine basic card, by the way. That's a fine basic card. Respect that. This is the Belcher deck? I don't know. It looks Belchery to me. It does look Belchery to me, if you ask me. Only one land. How are you playing an all meme league? I don't know. I am in the 1-0 bracket, so... I won my first match, so... I don't even know anymore. What is even real? So I'm gonna get Flagstones, hoping to find another untapped land. Too bad that both of these enter tapped. Actually, we see a situation where Canopy Vista would be a lot better than this Scatter Groves, because I would have been able to find the plains there. I want them to keep lands in their deck, right? So I should not be pathing their walls. No, and next turn I'm going to trigger Dryad twice. So we're fine here, we just pass. Would Elementals be considered a meme deck if I play versus that next? I don't know, who knows? Meme Elementals. Alright, here we go. Something's happening. Nissa's Pilgrimage. Okay. I'm getting scared here, chat. So I think we're gonna do Plains, and I think we get Valagat here, actually. Bingo. And here I could play... I think this is just better. We sack Forest. We get a second Valacut. Am I missing lethal again here? This is 2, this is 6, 12, 18. No, I'm not missing lethal. Oh no, yes, we are missing lethal because we can path our own dude. Reclaimer so busted that you can even path it in order to get your land so you can lethal your opponents. How insane is that, right? So sick. Alright, what the hell are we even playing against here? So we probably won't get a Teague, I guess, if it's a Belcher deck. maybe Beast Within. Eidolon probably doesn't do it, but Black Path to Exile, I actively want it out of my deck, so... Maybe Eidolon is just better than that. Should have had Shroud. Yeah, I know. Just nerf. Reclaimer 2 OP. Please nerf. Mind Sensor. And I guess Path to Exile to path my own dude. Let's go. Let's go. To be fair, Reclaimer isn't busted, right? It's busted. Well, I think that Reclaimer is really good. It's a 1-drop, folks. It's a 1-drop. It's a 1-drop. What are we talking about here? Look at the amount of texts that it has. It's a freaking 1-drop. It's absolutely ridiculous. The amount of mileage that you get from just a 1-drop it's outrageous, honestly. I don't think the card is busted. I don't say it's busted. I'm saying honestly, Reclaimer is the perfect card, if you ask me. I think that Reclaimer is just the perfect card in terms of power level. It's not busted, and it's just fine. But it's like, it's the perfect power level in terms of how good it is, like the potential that it has. Like the Reclaimer was printed like what, 2 years ago now? And only now people are starting to realize how good it actually is. So... Recross the paths. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Put a card into the battlefield, the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Clash with an opponent. If you win, return it to its owner's hand. Excuse me, what? So we can put it on the bottom? Yeah, so they gave us a free scry? Literally gave us a free strike. A free scry, sorry. That's so kind of them. Let's play Radiant Fountain, and I'm just gonna play Mind Sensor here, probably. Haze of Poland, Chancellor. Failed to find one time. Remember how long the shadow took to see it play? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Reclaim is definitely a great card, and its strong supporting cards to be amazing. Yeah, but that's my point, and that's why I'm saying that it's the perfect power level. That's why I'm saying that it's the perfect power level for a card, right? It's not busted. It's just a very, very good card. That's interesting. They're gonna trigger Morbid. That's funny. It's just a really, really good card. Okay, did I bring any other hate pieces? Not really, right? So I guess I'm gonna spend this turn to get my engine going. I'm gonna play Ghost Squatter because I might want to Ghost Squatter myself in order to win a Dumber Skull if I have to, like if they manage to play a Belcher, and I can play the Belcher, you know. Do we want this on top or on the bottom? We want this on the bottom. I want to reveal the ley lane. That's cute. Have a worm coil? Jeez. Okay, so they're probably out of lands by this point. We do get to see their deck. So we might be getting to hardcast Chancellor situation. So they have to draw, I mean, they're going to need to draw some of their removal, basically. Okay. But this is fine because we're going to get to, well, you don't attack. We're going to get to, like, they can't cast Belcher unless they have Dismember as well. And even if they do, they can't activate Belcher in this turn, so they're probably going to hard cast one of the big dudes. Worm Call, yeah, that's whatever. So we're going to call for Dryad. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Now we're gonna Reclaimer, sack this, and get Flagstones. It's a cute deck my opponent's playing over there. 1, 2, 3, play my Dryad. Suva, copy Valakut. Trigger you. Trigger you. Always yes, always yes, always yield. They can't do anything here, right? Like even if they dismember, so they're gonna go down to 2 and then I'm gonna pass the turn and we get to play around Dismember very nicely. I guess that they have to Dismember right now because the only answer they can have is another Dismember, so yeah. Go squatter them out of lands. Yeah, that's probably not the line. Go squatter myself to get rid of the Flagstones is the line. If they had Dismember, then they should have 100% killed the Reclaimer before I got an activation. So they have this hand doesn't do anything, but it's like okay. It's just like a solid development hand. We even have interaction, or we can path around Racer to ramp if we find the prime time that we are struggling to cast. Playing against Shadow. It's probably an okay hand against Shadow with Blast Zone. No discard spell is good. What a great draw there. It's okay. But yeah, I certainly wish we would have drawn something slightly better there. Might board into Hornet Queen or other being dumb stupid. Yeah, Worm Call is what they had. Dumb idea, Reclaimer Tron. Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because you want to be casting Reclaimer on one, and like Tron goes. Honestly, it goes kind of directly in the opposite direction, so Reclaimer Tron doesn't strike me as a particularly good concept. It's definitely better than Sack Island's Boggles Tron. That was something. I think I'm happy taking the damage here. This damage kind of doesn't matter. That's a card I'm a little bit more concerned about. Oof. Big bug. I think I want to play around a discard spell here. Yeah, we're definitely playing around discard spell. So now if they do have discard, it doesn't do anything. And they need to find removal from our Reclaimer, or they literally just die. If they don't find removal for Reclaimer, they literally just lose. So that's also cool. Alright, opponent knows what's up. Gotta respect the Reclaimer. Okay, now we get to play a real game. Though there's multiple cards that if they show up, we kind of just win. So that's nice. Blue-green Wilderness Reclamation Tron. That's the truth. Tracker. Fuck you. I think I'm gonna YOLO here. This is worse against discard spell but if we find a land, it's so much better to guarantee the land drop. That's brutal. Of course I'm not attacking. Yeah. So I think it was worth the risk. Like statistically speaking, we are more likely to hit a land than to hit a card that we can't cast, right? There's Lurrus. Play Peatland. We can call for Spring Bloom, which is kind of interesting. We could also call for Raminap. was actually a coin flip. It was 50-50. Okay. Okay. I didn't really do the math, but we were playing 31 lands, and it looked like we had cast more cards than played lands. This number school is very. I think I'm just gonna call for. Just call for ramming up. Now do we get? I think we get Flaxlands. It's still 2 clues for the tracker, which is kind of all that I really care about right now. And this doesn't cost me life. Pass the turn. Oops, that's right. You have 2 dryads. Look at this synergy right here, chat. Look at this synergy, right? Opponent can't really attack and can't really block. It's really funny. Good stuff, good stuff. The Dryad stacks or we're playing 3 lands a turn. How did I miss this? Oh yeah, they stack. I honestly just blanked on the fact that we had a second Dryad. So this means that opponent can kill my tracker instead, but like it's kind of whatever. How do they not have any removal at all? It's kind of insane. How do they not have any removal? It's wild. You wanted value, chat? Let me teach you about value. Let me teach you a thing or two about... Good stuff, good stuff. Let me teach you a thing or two about value, chat. This is like watching someone durdle in EDH. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Okay, so we're playing against Shadow. And they have Lurrus in the main deck, surprisingly enough. It's kind of ridiculous how they just did not have any land drops. No vials and no amulet. Sometimes you just want to play Reclaimer and nothing else. Sure, we'll keep this. Okay. I think we're gonna get the tap land out of the way. Lurrus as a target for Traverse. Yes, I'm aware of that. So I guess that, yeah, because I guess they want to play Street Wraith. If we draw a green source here, unlucky. Because we didn't draw a green source, I think we just have to expose the Scavenging Ooze here, which really, really, really sucks. Because I would love to exile my own Dryad to make the Goyf a lot smaller, but we literally don't have any more green sources, right? So we're kind of stuck with this. Kind of screwed. My opponent's draws have been super weird. Definitely not interested in attacking at all. Ashiok. Just go for Dryad. I'm gonna see the classic minus. No minus. They do allow us to clock the Ashiok though, which is nice. I know what I can do. I'm trying to figure out if I should not. Because Timur Battle Rage is the card, right? I think we're gonna take the damage, however. But neither TBR nor the other thing kill me here. They might mill themselves. Not blocking. We die to Lightning Bolt. Plus TBR, obviously. But we don't die to the TBR alone because we can either exile this and gain a life, or we can exile this and make the Goifo smaller. But I think I have to wait for my opponent to make the first move. Okay, so now we die to Dismember or push. I guess not push, but we die to Dismember. So take 8. Second Goif. Now opponent's dead. Yeah, Exciting Bubble was definitely the line. Good showing from Scavenginus. To be fair, if my opponent had removal either match, either game, sorry, it would have been a lot closer. But like, my creatures are a lot better than theirs, so they didn't have removal, and it's just like my creatures are gonna take over unless they kill me by turn 3 or 4. But if we go to turn 5, I don't think my opponent can come back really. Okay, another Lurrus deck. This handsome's really good against Lurrus deck. Playing Vesuva as a Flagstone is actually 3 more damage than doing it as a third copy of Valakut in that situation. No, because it sacks itself, right? Or you mean after I play the 6th land? Because if you're talking as the 6th land... Oh no, I guess it does trigger itself. No, it works with Valakut, but it doesn't work with Field, I think. Yeah, it works with Valakut, but it doesn't work. No, it works... Yeah, it works with Valakut, but it doesn't work with Field. Because Field requires the lands to have different names. So yeah, that's the explanation. It works with Valakut, but not with Field. So yeah, you're right there. Con el bloque en mesa, ¿sabrías Flax para buscar tierra? No. Porque es una montaña nomás. Basically, any Splinter Twin hand, you keep. Probably regardless of what the rest of your hand is. If you can cast Reclaimer on 1, and you can cast and you have a Flagstones in your hand, I think it's possible that it doesn't matter what the rest of your, at that point, 4 cards are. You should always keep that hand. Are you telling me we get to untap with Reclaimer? Is that what you're telling me, opponent? Is that what you're telling me? Big ball. Fatal push. Annoying, but that's okay. Now we have a real question here, because we can get Vesuva or we can get a Blast Zone. I think I'm gonna go for the Valakut, sorry, didn't mean to say Vesuva. I think I'm gonna go for the Valakut. Because we already have the Aero Damage Scroll and we already have a Path to Exile to answer this, so Valakut just has the highest upside. Interesting to know, though, is that if my opponent, if that had been a Bolt, we actually would have been able to save the Reclaimer. They had the Cling to Dust, so they would have killed it anyway, but we would have been able to save the Reclaimer. if we had wanted to, by sacrificing the forest instead of the flagstones and getting a second flagstones, and then the flagstone sucks to itself. So that's a pretty interesting play pattern. Yeah, we're gonna pass the turn here, and we're gonna call for Dryad. Oh, come on. Let the Thoughtseize resolve. Because if they take the path, that means that we get to call for Dryad. So this only backfires if they have a second discard spell, but if they have a second discard spell, we just concede to my opponents. Oh, come on! Wow. Why did they cling if they had double discard spell? This makes no sense at all. Why did they cling? How am I liking the Vial-less deck so far? It's been okay. It's been okay. Like, it hasn't... I haven't felt like it's necessarily better than the version with Vial, but... Just gonna... Just actually make it 4-3 here. Like, my opponent's gonna have to use a bolt to answer this Knight of Autumn, or they're not going to be able to attack anymore. So if they have push bolt or something like this, it's just going to be just whatever. But like this is a little bit more of a roadblock. Legends rule the flagstones make Reclaimer 3/4. That doesn't work. We only have 2 lands. Well, prime time off the top so we can win this. Alright, so my opponent's draw lined up exactly perfectly against ours. Card for card, it lined up exactly as it needed to against ours. We're still fine if we, but now we need to get lucky, right? We need to find either a Dryad or Prime Time is probably the best thing that we got, because we can get double field and we can immediately stabilize Titan. Alright, so we are very unlucky. Even in Alarmist Call, we would have been able to call for Dryad, and we get to answer both of my opponent's threats, so we were still in fine shape, but yeah. How do we sideboard against this deck? Because we faced this deck earlier. I forgot how we sideboard. I think we cut this, I think I cut a couple of Reclaimers. Definitely not sure about this. Not sure about that at all. We'll see. Got some paths? No. Path is like one of my best cards. If they don't pressure you, you will kill them. Is Tracker better on Reclaimer here? Yes, because it draws cards and Reclaimer doesn't. Reclaimer is better if it survives. Tracker is better if my opponent has anything. You probably only have to assume that your Prowess opponent will have something. Okay. Sure. I think I want to go for Forge Standard here. Basic Swamp. We're gonna go for this or this. Reclaimer 5-0 got busted. Nice, nice. Unclear whether this is better than Core Firewalker. Croxa. Interesting strategy of leaving the ramming up in my hand and then playing Croxa. I don't know how much. I don't know how good that strategy is, but yeah, it's interesting. Swifty. Yeah, for how well my opponent's cards lined up in the previous game, they are kind of not lining up this time around. I think I'm gonna sacrifice the Borenton. Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate for us. Flooded just a little bit too hard. Just a little bit too hard. Oh man. So now we can cast every card in our deck. So on my end step, on their end step, I'm gonna cycle this canopy, but now they get back Croxa. Now things are getting problematic here. Pretty annoying. I thought you were going to keep the Purge for the Croxa. I was expecting to draw anything at all, basically. But it turns out I didn't really. Which makes things a lot more complicated for us. But like, we would be losing to that guy otherwise. Man, more lands. Jesus. At least can we draw a Dryad here? Dryad. Titan. Fuck. So freaking frustrating. Scored is 9. A true Titan indeed. So we are gonna have to jump here, unfortunately. Thank you for that subscription. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Really appreciate it. Dryad Ivor? No, Dryad Ivor is not a playable card. Oh, they also take my last card. Yeah, our draws just did not line up at all. Okay, so there's only one card that saves me here, and it's exactly Primeval Titan. Exactly Primeval Titan. No. That's insane. Like, I cannot believe that we lost that game. Of course. Like, we just flooded so much. That's kind of insane. Anyway. Next one. Save the luck for next match. Well, I think that at that point, like, we legit stabilize if we draw a Primeval Titan, because we get Radiant Fountain plus anything else, we trigger field. Like, we're in fine shape. Unless they have another Bolt or Caveman. I'm not dead to removal. I'm fine against removal. Like, I have zombies from Field of the Dead. I would have 3 zombies. Today a Prowess player brought Rampage versus you. Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. I led on Windswept Heath because with the other Windswept Heath we can actually make the Reclaimer a 3/4 on turn 2. Oh, I don't have the... Okay, that guy's fine. Sick rips! The sick rips. You wear an amulet? Well, they can make you sack your amulet, Magus, right? Make you sack the amulet. Get 6/6 sick value, right? I guess it should have been a Flagstones because I'm gonna path and activate Reclaimer, so that should have been a Flagstones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna get a Valakut here to get that going, if need be. I guess even if I had path to Scavenger Ooze, doesn't really matter. This is just fine. Alright, again, so we find ourselves in a situation where we need business, or we need my opponent to not find another Blood Moon effect. It's pretty good for them. Beating Cloth is okay. Definitely taking 6 here. Sure. Could have eaten their own Clothes if they wanted to, or my Gracer, but they didn't. We can't really play around this Scavenger Ooze, but still, it's better for me to save the fetch. God damn it. Ah, annoying. Cycle Thicket. That's interesting. Okay. So we do have another green source here. Stomp my Sambo. Do I have to go for the YOLO block? My opponent has 1 card left in hand. I think that we're far behind enough that we have to go for the YOLO block. Because otherwise this Scavenging Ooze is just going to grow too large. So we go for the YOLO block here. We trade if it works. If it doesn't work, we get blown out, but it's fine. Skirtis, no, that's not it. What is it? Leonidas, 225. Thank you for the follow. We traded 1 for 1 Ramina for Scavenging Ooze, so that's definitely something good for us. Fool. That's a big ass fool. Gargaroth. Can we get Gargaroth? We block here. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess they can't really attack with Magus. I think we're just gonna pass and we're just gonna kind of YOLO this. We're just far behind enough, I think. Does Gargaroth even stabilize here? Primetime doesn't. I guess it has to be Gargaroth, huh? It could have been Tracker, but I was forced into play my land first. If this were Blood Moon, it would have been easier instead of Magus. So we block here, we gain 3, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we still die. Yeah. Brutal that it was Magus and not actual Blood Moon. Because otherwise we would have been able to pact for Night of Autumn and I guess call for Night of Autumn and get him that way. Pretty unfortunate. Is Ooze good? Probably not. I usually don't like Knight in this matchup. Bog can probably go. Gracer is kind of medium. It has to be worse than Springbluff Druid. Yeah, it has to be worse. Okay. So this is fine, but we're 1 turn behind. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ship it. Down to 5. Yeah, it feels like whatever we do, we're probably gonna need. Like this is gonna have to go fetch a Temple Garden, so I think we're gonna prioritize the purchase over. Like we cannot beat the other cards, right? If they have like Pillage or something, we are super dead. But I think we have to play it though. What this does at least is, if they moon me, it allows me to go get a basic, and if they kill this, that means that I don't get mooned. So, and if they don't do either, okay, so they mooned me. Lothis. That's fine. That's a sick draw. All right, we're in this. Ren. Doesn't matter too much. So purge this. And now we can make the play that I suggested earlier. Oh no. We can't actually. My opponent very smartly left the Ren activation. So that being the case, we're gonna just develop here. Okay, so if they have another Blood Moon effect, we can purge it. Cloth is not exiled. I'm losing to Blood Moon, I guess, right? So I am trying to... Opponent's drawing slightly better than I am. Okay, so now we scoop to Blood Moon, right? Yeah, that's... It's so messed up, man. That's so freaking messed up. Do I have draws that save me here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really feeling the multi-5 right now. If we had kept a 7, we would be in perfect shape. Gargaroth. Because we are on the board, we are not dead, right? Like, as we can path this, and we should have one more turn. So, but yeah, but the 2 zombies don't save us. Okay. Okay. Displays. Fountain. Sanctuary. Your go. They're totally top decking Glorybringer. 100% top decking Glorybringer here. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was a good one to draw there. Yeah. Okay, that's also a good one. Sweet. So we attack with everything. This is 6. We're gonna force at least one chump. Probably it's gonna block with this. And they're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 some attackers, but we're gonna have 6 blockers, so this is fine. Actually, we're gonna have more than 6 blockers. Yo, Trayon with the raid. Welcome everybody from Trayon stream. Finishing up a nice little league with Esprevile that is not Esprevile. I feel like I'm gonna want to Vesuva here. I feel like gaining 2 more life seems pretty valuable. So let's just Blast Zone plus Vesuva, and Vesuva is gonna copy the Sanctuary, and the Vesuva is gonna bounce the Radium Fountain. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Now Glowringer doesn't even do it. That was something. PS Knives, thank you for the follow. What a comeback, yeah, for real, right? I'm BS Snipes with the Prime subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for the support. How do we feel about Forge Tender? I feel like I like Forge Tender better than Grazer. So let's do that. Opponent moves to 6. That hand could not be an early Blood Moon. This one can, actually. So let's keep it. And I think I'm going to bottom the Dryad, which is a weird thing to do. But we're going to go turn 1 Flagstones, turn 2 Flagstones, fix our green mana. And it seems like my opponent is on Magus instead of actual Blood Moon. So Path might be able to do some work. Sure. Okay. Temple Guard. I should have gotten the Thicket. That was my bad. Well, I sure hope that I had access to the Dryad now instead of the Prime Time, but that's fine. I don't think I mind ramping them so much. Like they're not missing a land drop ever again, right? So why not play Sanctuary next turn? My opponent's playing Pillage, Magus. I don't want my opponent to pillage my Sanctuary. If they do that, we lose the game on the spot, right? So what we do is we call for Dryad. Wait, do we call for Dryad? You know what? I think that we are ahead enough that we actually get to play around Boil. which seems one of the very few ways that my opponent could come back from this. So I'm gonna go for Springloom Druid instead. So we're gonna go with the Forest. Gonna play the Druid. Gonna sack this. 2 basic land cards. Basic. Basic. And yes. Let's get a snow-covered plains. Let's get a plains. The point is we didn't need to bounce because of Magus. Oh, I see what you're trying to say now. But like I needed to use my mana on end step, right? Because otherwise I just didn't have white mana to path the Magus. So your line doesn't quite work. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so it looks like we're just gonna dominate here. Played around Boil, played around everything that you could ever think of. 4-1, back to back. Eating Ponza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Easy. It wasn't raining at all back then. It just messes with my mana. I get to use my mana more efficiently by pathing there. Alright, so the deck has felt good. Like this felt a lot better than the previous list that we played. Like the matchup that we lost against Prowess was because we just never found any business in a million draws, and my opponent's draws just lined up very well against ours. We even beat Cavern on Troll. We did. We somehow managed to beat Cavern on Troll. No idea how we managed to do that. Pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. We didn't play against a single Aether Gust deck, so that was like the main test that I wanted to do, right? Like, Titan Vial is very good against Gust decks. Like, it's quite good. Like, I have a very, very positive record against Gust decks with Titan Vial. Barring exactly Scapeshift. That is literally the only Timor Scapeshift, that is the only Gust deck that I do struggle against. All the other Gust decks are overall pretty easy to beat, or like at least I consider good matchups. I guess besides Reclamation decks when they play Nexus. If they have the Nexus, then they are bad matchups, and if they don't have the Nexus, then I think that they're good matchups. What else to consider about this deck? First of all, the Vesuva was excellent. The entire league, Vesuva was incredible. So this deck 100% wants the Vesuva. 100%. Segira's Step, we had a couple of situations where it would have been clutch. I don't think it's worth it still. The third Gracer allowed for more consistent draws, but I did feel the lack of impactful cards a little bit, particularly in the matches against Prowess. I did feel the lack of impactful cards. Second field is really tough to evaluate. And this Cutter Groves, it really isn't clear whether this is just better as another Temple Garden, or if this is just better as another... no, in fact, this is better as a Temple Garden, actually. We did find a situation where neither Canopy Vista nor Scatter Groves would have entered untapped, and we basically time-walked ourselves. We kept a hand of this and Valakut with Reclaimer, and we were able to turn 2 Reclaimer, and would have been able to turn 1 Reclaimer if we had access to Temple Garden. So, yeah. I know Castle is a lower cost than most utilities, but it has come up. Yeah, it comes up multiple times. Yeah, this is a 4 Titan version. This is a 4 Titan version. In Titan Vial, cutting Castle is perfectly reasonable. Like, we have like 2 cards that we can cast off the... And even in Titan Vial, the Castle does come up. Even in Titan Vial, the Castle does come up. But it's definitely cuttable. 100% cuttable. Yeah, this deck felt nice, but I think that it has a lot to do with the matchups that we faced. So what I would say is this deck might be better against Prowess decks and stuff like that, while Titan Vial is going to be better against Gust decks. I have not faced the Gust deck with this deck just yet, but it has to be worse than Titan Vial. Like, it just has to. Cast allows you to curve Knight into Titan. Yes, and also allows you to turn for a Titan with Reclaimer. Or with Grazer. Turn 1 Grazer, turn 2... Yeah, that doesn't work. Never mind. But yeah, turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Flagstones, turn 3 get mana, and turn get Castle, and turn 4 you can Castle, get Titan, and you can probably even double spell and stuff. Blue Prowess plays Gusts though. Yeah, but the Gusts are not as good in the Prowess decks. Because, like, if they are holding up Gust, it's because they are not triggering Prowess on their creatures. So I don't mind the Gusts out of the blue Prowess decks as much as from the blue decks that do get to capitalize on this. We cannot activate with Gross and Valakut. Yes, but you are locking ourselves. We had 2 draw steps to find any untap land, and we did. And I'm answering to you, Looker, for Flow Kick. We did draw an untap land, and we were not able to activate Reclaimer. And the Prowess deck don't have Sanctuary to recur. Yeah, that's also a big deal. Yeah, you don't lose to Gust number 1, right? Like you basically never lose to either Gust number 1. You lose to either Gust number 3 or 4 while your opponent is attacking you for 6 with an row. Those are the Gusts that you lose to. You don't lose to either Gust number 1. How do you feel about boarding a Ballista or pretty much a creature to deal with Magus, since it seems more common than Bloodmoon? Can't think of something cheaper? Yes, for Celestial Purchase and for Path to Exiles. We beat Magus like twice in this very league. Like we don't care too much about Magus. Like, it's fine. It's pretty easy to deal with. In fact, it's easier to deal with than Bloodmoon overall, because like Path actually answers the Magus. Poor Magus. Nah, Magus is fine. Anything else about this deck? I wonder if this is the change to be doing. One thing that I have to say, Call is a lot more awkward in this deck than it is in Titan Vial. Call is a lot more awkward in this deck than what it is in Titan Vial, because in Titan Vial you have a lot of situations where you can even you go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 you Call, and you Vial in Reclaimer. So you have more outs to play in Reclaimer and start activating. That actually is a play pattern that's quite common. And also something that happens against combo deck quite often is you play Vial on 1, you play a land on 2, and you Call. And then, or like you play a tap land, you get that out of the way or something, and then on turn 3 you Call and you Vial in Thalia immediately. Those kind of play patterns, of course, are not possible here. You're basically tying up your mana every time. So it's interesting. What this deck did, though, is it makes me want to potentially cut the Steves. Like, the Steves are fine, but they can be cut for Gracers / more lands / Springbloom. Like, Springbloom is sick. Like, Springbloom in that very last game against the Ponza deck, it was so insane. It allowed me to play around Boil, which was the only way that my opponent could be able to come back into that game. It also allowed me to play around Blood Moon, because it got me all my basics were in play. in a single turn cycle, I just tutored for 3 basics and put them all into play. pretty cool. Do you think this version of Warsaw gets combo because of Nothalia? Precisely. And because of the stuff that I literally just explained, where you can like call for Thalia and Violin at the same turn and stuff. Vial version just seems like it has game against more decks. Yeah, I mean you're losing some percentage. You are losing some percentages, right? This deck doesn't. This is a Primeval Titan deck, so in the matchups, like you're gonna beat Jund more often. You're gonna beat Shadow more often. Like Shadow felt significantly better with this deck than it does with Titan Vial. Like with Titan Vial, the Jund matchup, the Shadow matchup, the Jund matchup is still very good, but the Shadow matchup is kind of close. And with this deck, it didn't feel particularly close, right? Like we have 8 removal spells that answer Shadows and Anglers and Ashioks and whatever, and you just hit land drops, and then you eventually cast a Titan, and you are drawing towards more Titans. So like the Shadow decks are a little bit closer with Titan Vial, and they didn't feel particularly close with this deck. And I imagine that the reverse is true for Aethergust decks, as I was explaining. Do you ever feel like you will win a Sun Titan in this deck? So I have had people suggest that multiple times already, and the only thing that I can say is that whenever you could cast Sun Titan, you could also just be casting Primeval Titan. So there's that. So no, I'm not interested. I will never be interested in Sun Titan, basically. Like I'm gonna be playing more Illidan Skull or just like Summoner's Pact before I play Sun Titans. Like no, it's just. Also, that Titan Vial has more utility, right? Titan Vial allows you to call for Eternal Witness, which is something that has come up. What about an Emeria? Emeria is a meme. That's not a playable land in the modern format. It just isn't. The problem that Emeria has particularly is the fact that the only way to have Emeria going is if you have a Dryad in play. And if you have a Dryad in play, then like Valakut is just better 99% of the times. Anyway, back-to-back 4-1s was pretty nice with this version. It felt super consistent, which I liked, except when I didn't draw anything for a million turns against Prowess. After they double Thoughtseize me, to be fair. After they double Thoughtseized me. So there's that. But I like this list. There's definitely a lot more to explore. The mana base, the changes to the mana base that I did, I think I liked a lot. I'm not so sure about cutting the Bellower. I'm sure about cutting the Bellower. I'm just not sure that I should cut it for a Grazer. Maybe cutting it for a Call is better. Call is just better than Bellower overall. But I'm kind of not sold on Call just yet. But the mana base felt a lot better. Like I like this mana base a lot better than the previous one. But yep, I think that's all that we got for today. Nice little debrief at the end. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I would appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Stay safe and take care. Bye bye.